Go ahead.
I was racing past you.
Dude,
you want to go slow?
I was passing other people. You cannot pass another bike in his lane. It's just that simple. It's the law, man. It's the law. It is the law. Hello, everyone. Kim from RideVictoria here with you today. Miss Yamamoto, of course. Look, I got to tell you guys about my day today because it was really, really good. So good that I'm going to have a double camera. A double camera setup. That's how good this day was. So, today, my day started off, before my day had even started off, it started off good. What are you talking about, Kim? I'm not even going to explain to you what happened. I'm just going to go right to the clip. And the guy that you're going to see first, aside from me, is the guy that I had that little conversation with about passing me in my lane several months back. Okay, let's just leave it at that and we'll roll the tape. Here we go. No music, just fade to black and into it. And action.
I'd like to sincerely, from my heart, apologize for that incident that we had.
Really? I honestly accept that. Absolutely.
My friend, I thought about it and I was wrong. That's the first time I've ever did that incident, and I sincerely...
I appreciate that. That is a huge...
That's from my heart.
And I apologize for the way I handled it as well.
No, listen,
so...
I've been thinking about it. I haven't been able to sleep. And I wish to God I could take that all back.
You know what? It's all good. That's a huge. You know, I really appreciate you saying that because that takes a lot of guts and whatnot. So
it's from my heart, my son.
Well, I feel it. I feel it. Well, I can't say I handle it very good as well. So let's both call it good.
Thank you.
Excellent. I appreciate it greatly. I really do.
Thank you.
So that's a great way to start my day. And we're back. Okay, was that pretty cool? That's the same guy that I had words with a couple months ago about passing me, and I'm saying, hey, don't pass me in my lane because A, it's illegal, and B, I don't like it. And, you know, we had a little bit of an exchange, and as I said in my description, I could have handled it better, and, you know, I should have. I didn't. Lessons learned. I felt it was quite sincere, very sincere. And there was no buts, you know. There was no, I'm sorry about what I did, but, you know, you really shouldn't, you know, that sort of thing. It was all, hey, I'm really sorry about it. I feel bad. I felt bad for quite some time. So kudos to him for coming over. I mean, that must have been a long walk. You think about it. It's only like 2 houses away, but, you know, he has no idea who I am and what I'm like, and he's going to come over and he's prepared to apologize for something that he did a couple months ago. I mean, he could have just let it go, but yeah, that takes that's a big man right there. So I want to give you some examples of 2 stories, and both of which star Papa Bear. Why is there a camera on your motorcycle? That's illegal. Why do you ride a motorcycle? It's dangerous. A quick story to kind of prepare you for the second story, which is the real meat and potatoes of it. Like 19 years ago, my wife and I found out we're having our first boy. We were driving a 64 Comet, no power steering, no power brakes. My big plan was to swap out my 302 and my 4-speed and my 9-inch out of my 71 Pinto. I know, laugh. It's all right. I'm used to it. I can take it. And put it into the Comet, and that would be our, you know, car. Well, we decided, you know, start a family, and so that wasn't really practical. So we wanted to sell the Comet, and we had our eye on another vehicle, but we couldn't buy it until we sold the Comet, so we were trying to sell the Comet, okay? My car's at work. It gets damaged one day at work by a semi-truck that came into the job site and pulled down a temporary power cable that had been strung out by Papa Bear and Baby Bear. And long story short, it was on a 2x4, 4 2x4s pinned together as a mast. It came down, it damaged my vehicle to the tune of about $500. at that time, and I was told by Papa Bear, don't you worry, we're gonna make these guys pay for it. I was like, okay, well, should I start a insurance claim with ICBC? No, these guys are gonna have to pay for it. And from that point to about a month and maybe a month and a week later, nothing happened. It turned out that CP said, we're not paying for it. You asked us to come to the job site and your line was too low, so it's not our problem. You deal with it. And then I was told, oh, well, I'm going to talk to the boss, the big boss man, and see what can be done. Well, nothing was happening. I wasn't hearing anything. We got a bite on the car. Somebody wanted to buy it. We were going to have to sell it for a lesser price to sell it, but we figured, well, let's just do it. We got to get, you know, baby's coming soon. We need to get this other vehicle. Papa Bear, about a week later, walks up to me and says, where's your car? Because he noticed that I wasn't driving our 64 Comet. I said, oh, yeah, we had to sell it in order to buy the other vehicle, you know, now that we're going to have a baby. He looks at me, he says, oh, good, and turns and walks away. Just leaves. Fast forward, probably 2 years. We're now driving an 86 T-Bird 5-liter, black, two-tone black, gray on the bottom, red striping, nice mags, power interior, everything. It was a really nice car. I loved it. I was working on a job site with Papa Bear again. Woo! I'm so happy. Still an apprentice, early years. Down the hole, Papa Bear comes up. He's standing at the top of the hole, and he's got a mirror in his hand, a chrome mirror. And he says to myself and Roland, who is this big carpenter, big German guy, just big. Saw him pick up a 10-foot 2x4 once at the end and used it as a baseball bat when he was angry and beat it up against the formwork. So he says, you guys better come and look at your cars. He had hit Roland's car. He had just nicked the mirror and knocked the mirror off. However, the truck, see, this is what happened. He had been driving the company flat deck. He had left it in neutral, running, and it had rolled down the hill. Sorry to interrupt here. I want to see what a wheelie looks like from this perspective. That's all right with you guys? I thought it would be. Wonder how that looked. The truck crashes into the side of my T-Bird like this, and stops with its front bumper just behind my driver's door. Crushed it in good enough that I could not open the driver's door. Roland, who at first had become quite when he found out that his car had been hit, suddenly became pacified as he looked upon my T-Bird with the company vehicle wedged into the back. So I walk up. My mind is racing. I'm telling myself, Kim, be cool, man. Be cool. You're only an apprentice. You got babies to feed. You know, you got to be cool about this. So I'm standing there like this, just quietly looking at my vehicle. Now this is the contrast between what happened this morning and how it should go, and how it definitely should not go. Papa Bear walks up behind me, and he hovers over my shoulder. I can actually hear him breathing. Now, what would you say? What would you say to me if you had just left your truck in neutral, and it had rolled down a hill, and it had crashed into my vehicle, and it was very apparent. It was very apparent by the damage that this was not going to be cheap, and most likely was going to be a write-off. What would you say? Think about it for a second. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would say too. I would say something like, oh, Kim, I am so sorry about this. This was, oh, I don't know what I was thinking. How could I have left? I'm so sorry. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this right. I am so sorry. Okay, that's what you or I would say in that situation. But this is what Papa Bear says. Of all the things to say, he leans over my shoulder and he says, Was there any damage before this? That line still, it still makes me just dizzy with, I can't comprehend what was going through his mind. Was there any damage before this? And in my mind, you know how you have folders in your mind, and you have like serious folders and sympathetic folders and all sort of, well, I have a really large folder called sarcasm. I actually went to the extent of pulling that folder in my brain, and this is what I wanted to say, but I didn't say, and I regret it to this day. This is my biggest regret of that whole situation, that I didn't say this. And this is how it was supposed to go. Was there any damage before this? Yeah, there was. And your truck fit perfectly into it! Oh my heck. And so, my answer to him was no. There was no damage before this. And he said, well, I'll call the office, or something like that. So I went and gathered my stuff. I went and picked up my tool belt and my stuff and took it back, and I went home early. And I went down to ICBC. Yeah, we're gonna write it off. There's too much damage. I was like, deflation. I've let that go. It still makes me laugh though. Was there any damage before this? But I have honestly let that go. I love to tell the story though. That's what I got out of it. I got out of it a great story and a great example of how not to be when bad things happen. So that's my story for today. It was a great contrast between how it should be done and how it definitely should not be done. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. And from me and Miss Yamamoto, I say have a great day, and don't be afraid. You know, it's tough. Oh, it's tough, guys. Forgiveness, either giving it or asking for it. Two things. Those are some of the toughest things in life to do, and it really takes a big person to do it. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes sometimes there's things that happen in our lives that you cannot be expected just to turn around and say, hey, you know what, I forgive you. And I've experienced that. I've had things happen to me in my life that I needed time to digest and time to get over and to work through on my own before I was able to say, you know what, hey, I forgive you. And I've had times where I've had to do the same thing and say, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong. So it doesn't, saying you're sorry doesn't mean, like when you're a kid and you punch Tommy in the head, and why did you punch Tommy in the head? Tell Tommy you're sorry. I'm sorry, Tommy. And then does Tommy really feel like you're sorry? No, because your mom just told you to say you're sorry. So it's no, a real apology sometimes takes some time to internalize and to really feel the extent of the injuries that you've caused the person. So anyways, something to think about. Hope you enjoyed the story. And I better leave you now. I hope this camera angle works out, because I actually like it pointing this way. I can look you in the eye.
Hello, my name is Hero 3. I like you. You look very nice.
Okay, everybody, time to go. Enjoy your day. Sunshine on my shoulder makes me sweaty. And I will talk to you later. Beta, Gata, Nada, Zeta, Theta, Vader. I don't know, I guess that's all I got. That's all I got. See ya.